talk more personally. What was the eureka moment for you? Because you talk about it being a commodity business.
Right. Well, I joined Pure about 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And at that time, I had no familiarity with data storage. I came out of the networking industry.
Yeah.
I did some private equity for a while, and frankly, storage was the furthest thing from my mind. But when Pure called and I started looking into it, I saw two different things that, for me, indicated that we could really transform what is a major industry, 50 billion or more, in annual sales. Those two things were, first of all, this conversion or evolution from magnetic disk to flash. Because when you go from a mechanical device to a semiconductor, to a chip, you can really, the chips are so much more powerful than mechanical devices that it opens up a big opportunity. But the second one was that what I saw was a very fragmented industry where the different components didn't interoperate with one another. And so coming from the networking industry, and frankly, I was very fortunate. I was part of the company that took communications from a very fragmented industry and brought it all to internet protocol, to the internet, right? And I saw the same opportunity with storage, to take it from a very fragmented industry with different products for different purposes, and bringing it with this use of flash technology to a single integrated environment for customers' data.
Part of it is, I'm thinking of Cisco going from a router company to being the backbone of the internet. Part of it is a marketing, and I don't mean that in a negative sense, but it's reframing how people think about what you do.
Right.
I'm sitting here thinking, why would the average person who is not a CTO or a CIO care about Pure Storage? And I don't mean that as a harsh confrontational question, but genuinely it's challenging, I think, for enterprise tech companies to get on the radar, and yet it's important, I'm sure, from a talent perspective and many others. What message do you have when people are looking at you even as a place to work?
Well, I would say that it actually, your question reminds me of a story, if you don't mind.
Okay, sure. And
the story
feel free, give it out, dish it out to me.
Okay, yeah. This is a true story. I remember when I was first getting going in my career, and I had started a company, and I'd met with a distant relative for the first time, and we asked each other what we did, and it turned out that he was actually a plasma physicist at Princeton University, and he was working on fusion, which we all know, right? Fusion energy. And of course, I was suitably impressed. And he asked me what I did. And this is quite a long time ago, and there really wasn't a word or a phrase to describe what I did. So I said, look, I'm working on technology that allowed computers to talk to one another. And he told me many years later that he walked away from that meeting and said, yeah, that'll never work out. Why do computers need to talk to each other? And of course, that eventually turned into all the technology that created the internet, right?
Yep.
We think about it's hard for people today to think of life without the internet, right? And what the internet did and internet protocol did was consolidate, voice communications, video communications, wireless and wired communications, and it pulled it all together. Well, with data storage, with data being fragmented, think about the way that gets in the way of AI, of generative AI, of really making Chat GPT, more and more effective as people come to rely more and more upon artificial intelligence to help us with our jobs, with our everyday lives. If data is fragmented, then the ability of that technology to move forward is going to be challenged. So what we do, what Pure Storage does, which admittedly may occur in the engine room and therefore not necessarily be top of mind to everyone, is we allow companies to make better use of their data each and every day and spend less money doing it. Make it easier and less expensive for them to do.
So